So, if you guys are looking at my screen, I've been working on this Wolcen Lords of Mayhem video. Currently, if we zoom in on the timeline, I am 14 minutes into this, a little over that. Now, just to edit this much right here has taken me a couple of hours, and I still have a few hours of footage left to go through, but the problem is there's an issue with the audio. My commentary, this green part, is fine, but the actual game audio, for some reason, unsyncs almost every 10 to 15 seconds. So what I've been doing for this video is I'll watch over a clip of fighting and I'll have to match up the sound effects and then drag that to be on point, which takes time in itself, and it will just cause this process to take a few more hours. And honestly, I don't think I want to torture myself doing this, so what we're going to do is just discuss the game from the few hours that I've played, because it's a badass game. It's fucking awesome. I just really wanted this video to be more of a first look, let's play experience kind of video, but doesn't seem that that's going to work out. Sorry about that, guys, but let's jump into the video. So today we are taking a look at Wolcen Lords of Mayhem, an ARPG that was in early access, but today, as you're seeing this video, has now had its official release. This release also introduced a lot of new features and additions to the game. Now, I spent about 3 hours playing the game, and because of what happened earlier, I'm going to just give you guys a recap and discuss the different features and pretty much give you a first impression without it being live commentary. Now, this video is sponsored, so of course I'm here to showcase the game to you guys, and if you like what you see, there is a link down below in the description that will take you to the store page. And if you are a fan of ARPGs, I would highly recommend this one because it is one of the best ARPGs that I've played. And of course, I'll explain why. So a few cool things about Wolcen that other ARPGs don't really have is that this game has character customization. Most ARPGs, you just choose a character or class and you play it. They don't really have much customization besides the armor that your character wears. And while armor does change a character's appearance in this game, you still have character customization. Wolcen is very story driven. It currently has 3 acts, which are fully voiced, and the voice acting in this game is amazing.
Meanwhile, I meet up with our forces and I try to talk to Edric about the situation, to see how we can convince our people that you're not a bloody demon.
Agreed. I would rather appreciate not being executed.
The sound design, sound effects, music is top tier.
Stormfall, Jewel of the Sea. Let's see what you've got for me.
So if you play this, highly recommend you play with the volume all the way up because you'll truly feel like you're on an adventure. My favorite feature about this game is that it has a classless system. So your class is based on whatever weapon or weapons you have. About halfway through the video, I discovered that I could dual wield. 2.5 hours in, I realized, holy shit, not only can I dual wield swords, but I can dual wield a gun and a sword. So depending on the weapons, you can actually dual wield different items, which gives you access to different skills. And another thing about this game is that there are over 40 different skills, and these skills can even be customized. In addition to that, you also have a destiny board, and if you guys are familiar with ARPGs, destiny boards are usually a part of these games. These allow you to add passive abilities like more melee damage, more range damage, and eventually as you take a pathway, it leads to some type of super passive that made it worth putting points into all the previous nodes. You will pick up skills along the way. Now, I started off with a melee class, and it doesn't matter what class you start with because you can change at any time, but I picked up a ton of skills on my journey, and it wasn't until about 3 hours in that I kept getting melee skills. But for the majority of the game, I was playing with my basic attack and about 3 different melee skills. All the other skills were for ranged classes, daggers, bows, guns, and spellcasters, and I wasn't playing with that, even though I had the option to. At one point I did mix the gun and sword, but just found out it was a little too hard for me to keep up with, along with my health, because I fucking suck. And that's another thing. I decided that I do want to keep playing this game, but I want to do it co-op because it's a very fun adventure, it's a very fun experience, but I want to do this with a friend. 1, because I was getting absolutely destroyed. I would say I died maybe 5 times, but 2, I just think this thing would be a lot more fun with co-op. So if you do buy it, if you do play it, I recommend you try it multiplayer. I'm sure it will be a lot more fun, but even solo, it was still a good experience. What I'm saying is, the skills are RNG. You pick them up just like you pick up weapons. You might get duplicates, you can't use them, you can sell them or whatever, but there are a ton of skills in the game, you just have to find them as loot. And I just was unlucky until the end of my experience where I started picking up more melee abilities like a shield bash and a threatening roar that gave me a buff to my skills. But the gameplay is very exciting. There's very cool animations, very nice sound effects. That's some whack-a-mole shit. As far as your gear, you can also wear whatever you want. You can play as a tank and still wear gear for a rogue if you want to. This game also has a ton of enemies, so you can expect to see some unique different enemies and bosses, and the acts or campaigns are actually quite long. So it's not something you're just gonna hop in, beat in 1 hour, and be like, okay, on to the next one. It's a full-on experience. And I tried this game a little early, so there were some minor bugs and things like that. Within the cutscenes, you would see characters kind of porting around, but a lot of these fixes have been fixed upon official release. And also, I know that in this video, I seem like I'm gassing this game up, but it's not just me. If you guys check the Steam reviews, they are very positive, mostly positive. You could also look at other YouTubers' videos and see why. I don't want to spoil the story for you guys, even though if you had watched my original Let's Play, then yeah, you would have been spoiled, but I'm not going to go over the entire story. I don't really see a point in doing that. I think you should explore it for yourself, or if you don't plan to play the game, then watch a video on it. Although if someone is showing you the full-on experience without cutting and chopping up the footage, you're going to be there for a very long time, because some of these dungeons and maps and just areas that you explore can be pretty lengthy with the amount of mobs, and also the maps are pretty big. You can explore different sides and areas of it that serve no purpose in the story or the quest line, but there's always loot or hidden items that you may find that make it worth exploring. And sometimes I found myself getting lost, if that gives you an idea of how big these areas are. As far as difficulty, at first I didn't think it was too hard, but if you find yourself getting gangbanged at any point by more than like 6 mobs, if you're not careful, if you don't dodge roll, and thankfully the rolling has iframes, you'll probably get killed instantly. Some of the enemies can one-shot you, some of the bosses can one-shot you. I didn't find myself like sweating or going try hard until about halfway through my first look at the game, but I can tell that this is going to become extremely difficult at certain points in the game. But overall, I had a very good experience, which is why I can just talk about this so easily without a script, even though making a script doesn't necessarily mean that I had a bad experience. It just helps me gather my thoughts. But since this was just that good, it's that much easier to talk about it. So if you guys have played this game, let me know how your experience was. If you plan on playing it, maybe return back and let me know how it was. I might end up streaming this on my Twitch, even though I rarely stream, maybe once a month, or I might just make another video to make up for the lost Let's Play that we were going to do for this video. It still pains me that it came down to this, but maybe this was better, because maybe this gives you guys more details about the game in a faster format. Looking at my footage, I was very focused for a lot of it, so there wasn't as much commentary as usual, and that's another reason why this might be better. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys do give this game a look, and I know some of you have already played it because it's been in early access, but if any of you see this footage or this sounds appealing to you and you plan on buying it, remember that there is a sponsor link down below. And with all that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. See you soon, friends.